Hey y'all, welcome to Birds and Bees Homesteading. It's JB. Today we're going to be talking about composting. It's a little bit windy today, so we're going to see how this goes with the volume and everything, but I'm going to give it a shot because I'm doing this today, so I may as well share it. Sure looks beautiful out here today. It's a cold one though. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so right here we've got, this is my rabbit poop composting collection system. Kind of talked about this earlier in another video, but I'll just go into it real quick because it has to do with composting. This is some shade cloth right here, and all you do is you just hang it up here, you clip it on, whatever you want to do. But what happens is, see all this alfalfa and everything right here? Okay, so I catch all that alfalfa and all these poop, and then the urine can go right through there. And you can see how wet it is down there on the bottom. That's where all the urine goes. So basically I end up with incredibly good compost. I've got a nitrogen to carbon ratio that's pretty close to perfect, which is about 25-30 to 1 carbon to nitrogen. So this is already compost. This is already ready to go. Rabbit manure does not have to be broken down to feed plants. You can just throw it right in the garden. But what I like to do is break it down with some carbon, let the fungal and microbial cultures develop in there, and then spread it out on the garden then. Basically what happens is, once you introduce carbon and nitrogen together and some water, they're going to start heating up. It's going to get real hot. And I use a microbial inoculant called JMS, JADAM microbial solution, to kick it off. And I might not make it as part of this video, but it's something you should look into. I'm going to definitely use it. And so yeah, I'm going to clean out this area here, and I'm going to bring you over to the composter. I'll show you how that all works. Alright, so here's the composter. It's just some chicken wire with some T-posts, and then I got a garden pick right there that I can pitchfork that I can use to turn it. So I got 2 of them here, just to hold the volume. I went and scored all these leaves in the fall. I just put it out on this local website, said, hey, can I have your leaves? And everyone was just waiting on the curb for me, so I went and got a couple yards of leaves. I've already used most of them. So yeah, so I'm just going to introduce some manure in here. So in here there's some chicken bedding and some rabbit poop, and then some leaves, and then I'm just going to basically just layer it on there. So throw in some poop, and then throw some leaves, throw some poop. Or what you can do is you can just throw it all together and mix it all up at one shot, and then you're going to want to turn it like every day. It's going to get real hot, and if it gets too hot, it'll destroy the fungal cultures. But if it stays the right temperature, I think it's about 110 degrees or less, then you keep all your fungus and bacteria and everything. So yeah, it gets super hot, but it should keep itself together, and you end up with a nice amendment. Let's see if I can dig in here and pull some of this stuff out. Yeah, so this is all starting to break down into soil. You know, that's what that's going to be. It's going to be really, really rich soil, and this is a little bit slimy. I just need to turn this. I'm going to add some more manure. I think there's a little bit too much carbon in this mix. It looks like I don't see any poop in there. So I'm going to load that up and then turn it. Alright, so this is the kind of area you're going to want to be looking for to collect microbes. This is pristine forest around here. I'll give you a little view. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for areas of this forest where we have down trees and leaves, and underneath that we're going to look for fungal and bacterial samples. It's easier than you think. It's just some white stuff that's in there, mycelium, and what that's going to do is we're going to propagate that, culture it, and increase the population dramatically, and then we're going to pour that liquid after 2 days into our composting bins, and that's going to inoculate the bins. So they've got carbon, they've got nitrogen, and they've got microbes, and that's what you need right there for good compost. So let's go for a little microbe hunt, and I'll show you kind of what to look for. That's your moment of zen. Alright, if you're out in the forest and you run into this stuff, grab some of it. It's called horsetail. And what you can do is you can ferment this stuff. You chop it up real fine, and you can either mix it with brown sugar or water and a little bit of lactic acid bacteria, and it'll release the silica out of here. It's very potent stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of silica in horsetail, so I figure I ran into some, so I figured I'd share it with you. Good stuff. Alright, so this area looks perfect. It's moist, there's some moss on there, so you know it's moist. And then that log there is going to stay moist under that log. So let's lift this log up and see what we got under here. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Fungal hyphae. Mycelium. Okay, so this is what you want. You want that stuff. Let's see if I can get in real close. See that white? That's beautiful stuff right there. So that's what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and collect some of this. What you want to do is you want to collect from one area and then go to another area that's equally good and collect that. So I'm just going to dig this stuff out of here. See this stuff right here? This is coming with me. So this sample is going to come from an area that's loaded with horsetail. Look at all that. So that's a good sign. One thing to remember is always put your logs back the way you found them, exactly, if possible. We're not trying to destroy this forest here. This fungus takes a while to develop, and we really need it around here. So expose it, take what you need, and get on out. So you can see, look at how beautiful that is. Woo, baby. Oh yeah, that's what you want right there. You just dig this piece out, try and get the whole piece, and just break that piece right off. And that's a nice sample. In the bag she goes. Alright, I'm going to hit one more spot and maybe find another spot on the way out, but I usually go to 3 places, get my samples, go bust out. Next step, we got to go buy a potato. Yeah, and that's about all we're going to need. A little bit of salt. You'll see, it's so easy. Talk soon. Alright, so we're back from the forest. We've got our microbial cultures here in this bag. We've got a 5-gallon bucket of non-chlorinated water. This is rainwater right here. A stick that you can put over this bucket. 2 socks. A tablespoon of salt. And a cooked and cooled potato. Just cooled because you don't want to burn your hands when you're doing this. You'll see what I'm about to do. So first thing is keep the friggin' chickens out of the potato. It's for the microbes. So I just tossed in the salt. Stir the salt around. The salt is for minerals. These microbes need minerals. The salt isn't going to kill anything. They're fine with that. So just stir in the salt. Next step is to take one of these socks. You know you got extra socks. You know you got single socks somewhere. Somewhere in your laundry you got 1 sock. So you just take this stuff and you want to shove it in the sock. Just like this. No big deal. Couldn't be any easier. And free. Remember that stick I got? Look at that piece. Oh, that's so nice. So if you can't even like get the stick in there, you just pull this stuff off. That'll work too. It's fine. There's spores all in here. Let's see what else we got. We got some nice collection stuff. Let me dig around here and find the white stuff if I can. And I can. It's right here. So yeah, so you just take a handful of these leaves and just shove it in this sock. Simple as that. Shove it all down there. And the measurement of this, it doesn't matter. It's just the cultures are in here. So it's gonna populate when it gets into the right environment. It's about to be. So yeah, I think that's about good. Here's another nice piece. Alright. So yeah, so leaves in a sock. That was me scare the chickens, but it did scare them. Yeah, leaves in a sock, get them all down to the bottom. And then you tie this off like this. That's it. Boom. There's one. Okay, and then you work this around in there. See that brown coming out? You know there's spores in there. You just kind of work this around till you know you got, a lot of that stuff liquefied. There's going to be chunks of sticks in here, and it really doesn't really matter that much because they're in the sock and they're fine. But the microbes, the spores and everything will come into here. Next step, let's fill this sock up with potato. The potatoes are organic potatoes. 90 cents. 90 cents at the co-op. Oops. Yeah, we'll be fine. This is $0 farming, and this is like, it's not that high tech, but it kind of is. It's like, this guy is Master Cho's son, Korean natural farmer, famous guy, and his son was like, I don't want to use brown sugar for everything. I'm going to use a potato. And man, this stuff works. So we just want to knead this potato until pretty much all of the potato starches are into this water. Microbes have very small mouths, as you can imagine, so you want to get this stuff broken up and really squish it into that water. And you can see it coming through there like that. That's the starches that you want. And we'll just keep working this bag. So basically, this is it. This is done. You want to leave this in a place that's, you know, room temperature. Basically, I'm not even going to say a temperature. If it's comfortable for you, it's comfortable for the microbes. And just leave it at room temperature for about 2 days. It's going to foam up. The microbes are going to start eating, and they're going to be producing gases, and it's going to foam up on the top. And once the foam reaches its peak, you're ready to use it. So about 1 to 2 days, depending on temperature. No aeration needed, none of this. This is done. This is 80 cents for 5 gallons of a diverse microbial inoculant that you can use for the compost. So this is what's going to kick off the carbon and nitrogen. So we have the carbon and nitrogen all set up. It's turned. I watered it. And I'm going to wait 2 days. I'm going to pour this in there, turn it again, and we'll be off to the races, man. All right, take care.